I'm just gonna go a couple of the things with Windows 8. So you can see the desktop is pretty much the same minus the start, which has been addressed by a bunch of people. What I've not seen many people address is that if you right click the start menu, you pretty much get all the other options the old start menu used to have. So you didn't really lose anything there, it's just arranged differently. Power, it's not exactly that hard of a thing to do. Just swiping over, not that big of a deal. So that out of the way, let's get straight over to Metro. Interface, you can scroll with the scroll wheel, but it is a bit broken inside some applications. For example, here in weather is the most prevalent one I've seen this problem in. So almost all applications are side scrolling, as you can see here. So you start scrolling and boom, you hit this. This is up and down scrolling. Well, the only way to keep scrolling is to move your mouse over and then keep scrolling, which honestly right now I'm using a wireless mouse, but if you're using the trackpad, it's gonna be a pain in the ass to then move the mouse all the way down here or over here, because it doesn't work at all up here. And this entire list, it's pretty useless. They could have organized it graph style, like this. Maybe each one of these bars would be a specific icon, like cloud, sun, sun, moon, whatever the fuck. Like, this is completely unnecessary. There's that one ad that I've seen so far. If you hit minus, it'll go into the basics here. To make your browser appear here, you have to set it as your default browser. So if you're going to use Google Chrome, you have to set it up as default. If you're using any other browser, whatever the hell you use, set it up as default if you want it to show up in the start Metro, whatever the fuck interface. If you go to the top left corner, you would see the previous application that you had open, and you can just scroll back and forth between the previous ones. Closing an application is, again, stupid easy. It's just grab on the top and drag to the bottom. I mean, it's honestly easier than going to the top right corner and clicking a red X. Photos is very good. You can set up different accounts and be able to see your photos through them, including Facebook and Pictures Library. Once inside, it sorts it very neatly, including with folders, and you can open the folders and see the files inside the folders and whatnot. Boom, closed. A couple of applications that do have other issues that I've noticed. Cracked has a really bad issue here. I mean, it's like you can't use the application almost bad. I'll give it a second here to load. Keep talking about it. So pretty much, I don't know if it's a problem only with mine or if other people are having the same problem, but the application, it looks almost like if it doesn't want to fit on my screen. I don't know how better to explain it than that. It just doesn't want to fit here. I'll have the what's supposed to be like a side tab occupying half of the screen, and it just shouldn't work that way. And then the stuff here on the side is all going to be like overlapped over to the sides of the screen, because the words aren't going to get narrower. Why the hell would they resize the words to fit the screen? Well, who the hell comes up with something that smart? If only it would finish loading up. I'm probably not connected to the internet. Maybe I am. Well, Anyhow, I told you what the problem was. Store, another application that really, this one though I have to admit they fucked up big time. Because Cracked is a private application that Microsoft has nothing to do with, so it's not fair to blame Microsoft for it. But this is fair. I mean, whoever the fuck made this should be fired instantly. And I mean like literally fired, like set on fire. Okay, so you start here, I'm at the leftmost, and let's start scrolling to the right. Still scrolling. Still scrolling. Still scrolling. Almost there. Almost there, and stop. Yeah, see how much shit I just... Look at how tiny this bar is. The amount of shit that I just had to go through. I mean, what the fuck? Do they really need that many subsections? Do they really need that many subsections that are so fucking big? Could they not have taken each one of these subsections and just made it a live tile that scrolls through all the applications inside of it? Like, these 5 applications make a live tile that scrolls through them? Then you can just have, instead of a fucking, like, huge scroll, you can just have, like, 9 live tiles. Which just would need a little bit of scrolling. It's just, what the fuck? Right, they could have done the live tiles, and then when you open up here, then you see this, which has the free, which could have been named like more, whatever the fuck. Yeah. What they did afterwards didn't really matter, but this huge scrolling is just completely annoying and stupid. It makes me not even want to get an application. Let's close that off. Music and video, they remind me more of iTunes than of like Windows Media Player. I still haven't downloaded a Windows Media Center, even though I do have a key for it. Just, again, I've been too annoyed at the store app to download it. So here you go, and you open it up, and it's immediately loads you into what it calls now playing, but in reality it's more like, what am I gonna sell you? Like I said, it's a little bit of iTunes that's snuck in here. It's just a bit annoying. Then if you go to the left, you'll see my actual music library. I've noticed here at times it'll actually show a picture of the band slash album that you have on the now playing. Last time I opened this up, I had a Rammstein in like a NASA control room, which is a pretty nice touch. Let's see if it changes it here. No, it just changed colors. Whatever. Mail and people. 2 applications which in reality it's better to just use your default programs through them in the internet browser. More than likely, for me at least, it's Gmail and Facebook, the 2 major sources here. So it's easier to just go to browser to use them. But I like having the tabs here since they'll display the like last message. That's just something funny to have there. Sports, you can tailor it to a bunch of specific sports. I have mine to Formula 1. Maps, I'll cut that off from the video, but I'll just say that it's halfway decent. The 3D view is not that decent though. Maybe it's a little bit better in a touchscreen environment. It was just weird. I've not touched any of these, so I can't really comment there. What else? Yeah, this here. There's really not that many things involved here. Yeah, it has the on-screen keyboard, command, settings, whatnot. If you want to find an application, straight from here, you can't. You have to do a couple of things. You can either go here and click search and then search straight from here, or you can, from the start menu, right click all apps and then search and then find the application, or you can from the start menu just start typing. So those three are pretty simple, but only if you're in the start menu. If you're in the desktop, it's a bit tough if you don't have a shortcut on it. Speaking of application in desktop, as has been said many times, applications in start menu and in desktop don't talk to each other, which can seem bad to some, but I actually think that it all depends on the application itself. Skype, for example, the desktop version of Skype compared to the Metro version of Skype. The Metro one is a lot cleaner looking. It looks a lot more well developed, as the desktop one just looks badly put together. So in that case, I kind of prefer the one out here. But on some things like Google Chrome, for example, it's on a low power system, it's probably easier to just run here. I mean, you saw how quickly it just opened. And that's while running the video software, which slows my netbook down a lot. Speaking of that, there is a small trick to getting the tiles working properly in a netbook. You can search for that trick online. It's honestly pretty easy to do. I have noticed also increased battery life. Right now it's a bit exaggerated. It probably has to do with being in sleep mode for a while. But I did notice about 2 hours worth of battery life gained in the upgrade. I barely used to get an hour and a half before, now I can get 4 hours. That's a significant upgrade there. Well, I didn't talk about the multitasking, so let's open a couple of things up. So if you want to switch between the last app, you just go there and click, and it'll open your last opened application. And if you just want to go into the multitasking, you go top left corner and then slide down, and you'll be able to select specifically which one you want. You can see there's a little like transparent square right there. That's where you have to slide down to. Yeah, it's actually pretty simple to navigate through. I've not seen any real deal killer issues. There we go, it updated. 1 hour remaining. Yeah, that's believable. But yeah, I've not seen any like big issues that everyone keeps complaining about. Honestly, you get used to it in 5 minutes. The people that can't get used to it in 5 minutes, honestly, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. It's dead simple to use. I'm using it on a freaking netbook, which should be the most hard hit device on software, and it runs marvelously. It runs better than Windows 7 ever did. I mean, I had an issue installing it where the drivers for my SD card weren't working, the SD card reader. So what the hell did I do? I just downloaded the exact same Windows 7 drivers, installed them, and ta-da, it works. I'm using it now as my booster thing, whatever the hell they call it. Ready Boost. I mean, it's pretty nice software. I'll be honest, it's well worth the upgrade. I don't see what the big deal that everyone's making over it is. Well, Hopefully you learned something here.